In this video, let's take a look at how we can use arithmetic functions inside of a query. So in this case, I have this data set. So let's start with this equals query. And we're going to work with this data set right here. And let's go ahead and do our select statement. We're going to select the hourly rate, and we want to multiply that times the hours worked. So we're going to select B times C. And then we can finish out our query and see what we get. Now what you can see, what's nice about that is in one single formula with a query, I can get this whole column to populate. I could have easily done that with a normal formula in here equals B times C and then copied it down, but one formula with query. And I just want to also show you an example of using the arithmetic function. So that's times. Let's see what happens when we combine some of these. So let's go ahead and lock this reference, the cell reference, function F4, and now if I drag this formula across, it should work. I get the exact same thing. But what I want to do now is I want to add in the bonus. So I can select B times C, and I'm going to start by just wrapping B times C, just order of preference. I want to first do that, and then I want to add in column D. So that should give me B times C plus D. And yes, and notice each time I create one of these, I put that in the wrong place. Let me move that. I wanted to build these up this way, so let's do this, and let's do this back to here, and let's copy and format this. So this is my product. This is my sum of my product. I'm adding the product, and then I'm putting in the bonus. $210, so that's 10 times 60 plus 50. And then I have a withholding that I have to do on each one of these people. So that's going to be my next function. I'll go ahead and copy this formula across. This time I'm going to wrap this with a set of parentheses. And then in this case I want to subtract the column A, B, C, D, column E. And when I do that, here's my results. This is 116 times 10, 160 plus 50, $210 minus my withholding, and gives me $50. And then finally, in this, let's go ahead and do one more thing here. Let me add a row above, and this is our multiplication. This is addition. This is subtraction. And then finally we have, let's spell that right, subtraction. And then finally let's do a formula using division. So this one we've copied across. So this is, right now we're multiplying B times C, we're adding D, we're subtracting E, and just to make sure that we are going to keep our orders in correct line with our arithmetic functions, I'm going to wrap all of that and divide it by F. And now what I have here is a set of data that is first my multiplication. I can take and multiply two columns if they're numeric. Then I could combine that, do a multiplication, and then add. And then in this case, we're then subtracting. And finally, division. So really useful to know that we can use the arithmetic functions inside of our query, and therefore, in this case, be able to write a formula in one cell that would populate that range of data.